Congressman Mike McCaul is chair of the new House Task Force investigating China and is handling of the coronavirus outbreak. Congressman, thanks for coming on.
Hey, thanks, Henry.
The president says that they are a puppet of China and is thinking about cutting off their funding. What's your recommendation to the president about cutting off funding to the World Health Organization?
Well, Ed, I think the president's right. The WHO is really and specifically Tedros, the director general, has been a puppet of China throughout this pandemic. Early on, the WHO, after SARS outbreak, required a 24-hour notification under their international rules. The Chinese Communist Party completely defied that. They covered it up through the month of December. They arrested and detained 8 doctors, gagged them, silenced them. And then, the Chinese Communist Party went into the laboratories and destroyed the lab samples in an attempt to control this investigation. All the while, WHO is getting warnings that, hey, this is actually human-to-human transmission, that Taiwan warned them. And the WHO expert out of Wuhan, Ed, actually warned the WHO itself that this is human-to-human. It was covered up, and then it went from an epidemic to a global pandemic. They have a responsibility on their hands. If they don't clean their act up and have an independent investigation, I think the president's right in saying we're not going to waste taxpayer dollars towards this organization.
On that question of an independent investigation, editorial in the Wall Street Journal, China loses at the WHO, but it could still hijack the origin investigation. If this really is an independent investigation, WHO officials dealing with the crisis need not be involved in these early steps. An impartial investigation can yield life-saving lessons should COVID-19 make a comeback in the winter with so many lives on the line. Whether the results upset a particular country or leader should be irrelevant. Your thoughts on that, but also how do we make sure it's going to be an independent investigation, given the fact that the president's saying WHO is a puppet of China?
Well, Ed, I sent a letter to the president along with all the members on my committee, the Foreign Affairs Committee, Republican, asking for his resignation. I don't see how you can possibly have an independent investigation by the WHO if they're involved in this with Tedros at the helm of the ship. It'd be like in the private sector. Your number one job is to alert the world as to a global pandemic. He utterly failed in that mission and is responsible for the situation that we're in right now. I would argue that he has to leave before the WHO can conduct any sort of independent investigation. And Ed, I also question whether the Chinese Communist Party will really allow independent scientists into Wuhan, particularly after they destroyed a lot of the evidence that would point us to where the origins took place. Was it the wildlife wet market, or is it the laboratory biological facility? We may never know the answer, but we do know that they failed in their job to alert the world.
Well, you want Tedros to step down. He made comments the last 24 hours or so saying that the WHO will keep everyone informed about how all this is going. You got to wonder whether, in fact, they're going to do that, given the litany of allegations you just laid out about their performance. Congressman Mike McCaul, we certainly appreciate you coming on. Thank you.
Thanks, Ed. Thanks so much.